BET Boxing Tonight, special edition. Going to be a lot of great fights the next couple of months.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
We're talking Julio Cesar Chavez versus Johnnie Super D Doplessis.
Of course, Julio Cesar Chavez has been there. He's one of the world's greatest fighters, pound for pound, in anyone's judgment. Guy's got, nearly 80 fights. He's knocked out almost everybody. And of course, we all know him from the tremendous stoppage of Melvin Hardy about a year ago in Vegas. Richard Steele comes in. 2 minutes and 58 seconds have elapsed in the final round, and Meldrick is way ahead on points. Meldrick gets dropped with the big right hand. Richard Steele looked into the eyes of Meldrick, asked him rather clearly, if you study the tape, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" And instead of Meldrick signaling, putting his gloves to his chin or motioning, shaking his head, he was distracted by Lou Duva, his manager, rushing up to the ring apron. He looked off to the right, and the fact that he didn't respond, Richard comes in and stops the fight. So Chavez always has something in reserve, and Super D Doplessis, who's fighting for that title that night, is a tremendous boxer. We've seen him on BET. We've seen him develop here. So Super D, look for him to employ tremendous lateral movement, tremendous boxing skills against a guy in Chavez who's just a plotter, methodical puncher and bomber.
Simon Brown, Maurice Blocker.
The Battle of D.C. Whoever wins this fight can run for mayor in the district. Now, I hate to tell that to Sharon Pratt Dixon, but one of these guys will be mayor. Of course, Simon Brown is another fighter who's arguably pound for pound the best welterweight. Okay, he comes in, he chops at you relentlessly, very short hooks, short uppercuts, mover. He had some tremendous epic battles against Tyrone Trice. In fact, one of those fights, he stopped Tyrone in 14, was the fight of the year in 1989.
That was one in Paris.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Over in Europe, and they just fought. It was just both men just digging down within themselves to bring out the best they had in each other. And he's going against Maurice Thin Man Blocker, a guy who's one of the tallest welterweight champions in history, a mechanical guy, a tremendous boxer, using the left hand to great advantage and occasionally dropping the big right hand over top, coming back to clean everything up with the left hook, but able to just show tremendous lateral movement, picking you apart with that left hand and dropping the big right hand. So depending on which part of DC you have an allegiance to, you're going to pick one of these guys. Both
Doplessis and Blocker handled by one of the most phenomenon, we can call him a phenomenon in the boxing business, Butch Lewis.
Oh, man, Butch. Everybody knows Butch is running around when they see him up in the ring with no shirt on. Of course, they know he orchestrated the career of Michael Spinks and the Spinks brothers and did everything. But he's a guy who has a really interesting personal side of how he got involved in the game and how he has a very special relationship with his fighters that I don't think too many people out there in the boxing public know about.
There are a lot of people who are taking this Holyfield-Foreman fight lightly. What do you think?
It's ironic you use the word lightly when you're talking about big, heavy, big George Foreman. But I'll tell you, I love both guys, and I really love George Foreman. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. A guy just to come back at this age. But you look at Holyfield, as far as I'm concerned, Holyfield Kwawe 1 was one of the top 25 fights of all time. Both men going the full 15 rounds, never stopped throwing punches, either of them. Holyfield just be able to dig down deep and reach inside of himself and just throw triple combinations and do everything that he had to do to befuddle Kwawe, and he came out victorious. Of course, we saw him destroy Buster Douglas. We've seen him do everything in the cruiserweight division, a light heavyweight. He was denied gold as an Olympian, and now he's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, going against big George Foreman. Foreman punches so hard, he's so big, and he's so relaxed. Big George is a guy who got out of the game, took 10 years off from boxing simply because he wanted to. He wanted to do some other things. He went into the ministry. He's got his own church down in Texas, and now he's back. He's knocked out all but one of his opponents in his comeback. Everett Bigfoot Martin got off the hook. But Big George has been doing things as he wanted to do them. He destroyed Jerry Cooney, pinpoint accuracy in his punches, and he's a better fighter today than he was when he fought Joe Frazier and when he fought Muhammad Ali. And most interestingly, he only weighed 217 pounds in the Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire when Ali knocked him out. 217 is a regular heavyweight's weight. Now you're talking about a man weighing 265. He's a better puncher, more confident, more relaxed, more mature. That's going to be an explosive battle out in Vegas.
Speaking of battles, I'm calling it Buster's last stand. Buster Douglas, what happened?
Well, I'll tell you, Buster, in fact, I went down to Ohio and visited with Buster's people not long ago. Buster will be back. That's my heartfelt sentiment, that Buster will be back. But you say, why in the world, how in the world could a guy with all that he had lying before him come in the kind of condition that he came in against Holyfield? Well, boxing is one sport in which a guy can go from being a $10,000 fighter to $20,000, $50,000 in the case of Buster, to $1 million fighter when he fought Tyson. But then to go to a $60 million two-fight package right in front of him, like hitting the lotto and being paid in one lump sum instead of waiting 20 years. $25 million for Holyfield, 35 should he have beaten him and had a rematch with Tyson. And, you know, it gives you sometimes the feeling that, hey, I don't want to get up and do that road workout in the snow, or I don't want to go to bed early, or give me an extra steak. And Buster paid the price. He really paid the price. But I think that the public would indeed buy a rematch between Tyson and Buster Douglas, simply because Buster was the only guy who could break through that facade of invincibility that Tyson had.
You had mentioned earlier two other names that are synonymous with boxing, Hearns and Duran.
Oh, same undercard, March 18th, out in Las Vegas, dueling in the sun. You've got Roberto Duran, Hands of Stone, who really has done it all in boxing. He's won every title within an earshot of his weight class. Some people think that he didn't give his all against Leonard the last time out, but here he is again, Duran. Hearns also, again, getting ready for a May 17th showdown for Virgil Hill's crown, the light heavyweight. Could Leonard come back? We're all going to be sitting back watching it. Interesting.
Definitely some big bouts, but one of the biggest fighters that we haven't mentioned that we're going to take a quick look at, a guy called the Sugar Man.
Oh, the Sugar Man, huh? Let's see who this guy is.
Wall Street, New York City, the battleground of stockbrokers from all over the world, where wheelers and dealers like Leland Hardy make their living, taking financial risks and turning those risks into capital gains.
Bear Stearns and Company. Yes, how you doing? Leland Hardy speaking.
Leland Hardy is a stockbroker for Bear Stearns and Company. His workday has always been controlled by the sound of the bell, whether on the floor or in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the fighting stockbroker, Leland Sugarman Hardy.
Leland Hardy, a stockbroker by day, a boxer by night. Here seen knocking out Ike Padilla March 10th, 1989. It was called the Madison Square Garden Fight of the Year. It was another notch on the rise to the top for Hardy. But this stockbroker with a heavyweight punch is considered to be one of boxing's best kept secrets. And just how will he get the critics to stand up and notice that he's dead serious about boxing?
Well, I've been dubbed with a couple of names, Leland Sugarman Hardy, the fighting stockbroker from Bear Stearns and Company. All of those things, I think, spark interest. These seemingly incongruous pursuits that I'm involved in, will, with the proper marketing, get me a shot at Tyson. George Foreman deserves one. I deserve one when I prove my mettle.
Leland, here with his mother Avis and brother Marvin Jr., owns a master's degree from the University of Pennsylvania and attributes his striving for excellence to his family.
It was just a general wholesome environment in the family and an orientation toward achievement. And, you know, I gave my parents their share of nightmares coming up as a youngster, but again, I'm just a regular guy. Unfortunately, I had the guidance and a couple of good people to come forth in my life to show me the right way and this and that. And now I'm trying to just impart that same kind of thing to other people. 对他是我的一个帮助员了，他也打，对，非常好的朋友。从年轻
Leland Hardy is boxing's renaissance man. He speaks 5 languages, which is unique for a boxer. It's even more unique when he tells you that he once failed an English class.
I fortunately have been blessed with the gift of the ability to master foreign languages. I started studying Spanish, won the National Spanish Contest in '79 as a high school student. Went on to master Chinese and served as Muhammad Ali's interpreter in China, as a matter of fact. and went on and got involved in Japanese and some other languages. But I did have my troubled times as a high school student when I did fail English. But I think that's the appeal that I have to regular people. I'm a regular guy, and I can go out and speak at the high schools and speak at the churches and say, hey, if I made it and have done something with myself, you can too. Believe me, if I've done it, you can. And that's the whole message that I have.
Leland Hardy has grabbed headlines as a result of his boxing and his stockbrokering business. But he's also made a name for himself by being bullish on commercials.
Hey, check out the old timer.
Come on, will you? Come on! I got it. I got it. I got it. That was the chance of a lifetime.
I know.
The multi-talented, multi-faceted Leland Hardy, along with his victories, has also suffered some defeats. As you see here, losing to fighter Peter Woboda. Leland Hardy is still taking lessons from the school of hard knocks.
I told you before about staying behind your hands the way some of these referees are. See, but if Wayne Kelly was refereeing, that fight had still been going on.
But with his education and his talent, losing a fight is not the end of the world for Leland Hardy.
It's all part of the game, and if you can't accept the good, the bad, and the ugly, then you have no business in the game. But as you say, education outweighs them all. And fortunately, I have some other things that I do, and I can sort of serve as a model for young people. I love the game of boxing. I'm sure I'll be involved in the game, but you know, you have to take the bitter with the sweet in this game.
Get him next time. I'll give up.
All right, take it easy.
Boxing Tonight, special edition, is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. For all you do, this Bud's for you.